So to take our website and put it up on the web, we're going to need to add another file to our project. Right now we have project 1, project 2, project 3. But what we need is an index.html file in this top level of the folder. And we also need to then link to the files in these folders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, New File. It's on the right level. It's right next to all these folders, but it's on the topmost level. And I'm going to call it index.html. And you don't have to do it with Dreamweaver, and you don't have to do it this way. It's just possible to do it this way. I come over here. Ignore that. Well, actually, the first thing I'm going to do, so that gives me the basic coding. And I'm going to click here and enlarge this a bit so you can see what's going on. And move that over because I might want to see my code. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to project 2 and Gropius 7. I'm hoping that's the most current. Just like that. Okay, it's got CSS in place. So we have header, and we have normalize. And so I'm just going to copy all of this. And let me copy all of this. And then I'm going to go to my index.html. And I can go up here. And I'm just going to add that. And this is now going to be your name, your website, viewport is there, description will be website for Tech 272 spring 2024. Okay. And we've linked the style sheet. And so what I'm also going to need to do is change this link. It needs to say project 2 Nettles / CSS. Oh, right. CSS. Yep. / CSS / normalize.css. Okay, so does that make sense? So since our normalize is inside of project 2, then we're going to link to the folder, to the CSS folder, and then finally to our normalize.css file. And then we're going to add style because we will need that. And actually, I'm going to go back to Gropius 7. And I'm going to add this information on box sizing because it's might be useful. So box HTML, curly bracket, box sizing, colon, border box, semicolon, curly quote, and then box sizing is going to be inherited for everything. And now we go back to index, and we're going to add that into our styles. Okay, so that's the first thing. So now our site exists, but it has nothing in it. Everything's in the head, and the head closes, and then we have the body. And the first thing I'm going to do is div. Oh, actually, I'm going to keep this a little simpler. So main, and then inside of main, H1, Professor E. Projects for Tech 272, spring 2024. And then I'm going to have an H2 links. And I'm going to have UL LI and a href equals, and we're going to go into project 1, and we're going to click there. And close the link, and then we're going to call this project 1. Okay, let's see if I can move this over a little bit. There we go. Just to make it a little bit easier to read, so it's not on multiple lines. Then I'm going to create an LI. A href equals, oh, forgot my less than. A href equals project 2. And we're going to do, I'm not going to do everything. Let's do Gropius HTML. greater than okay. Li a href equals a href equals quote project 2 CSS test greater than yeah, it's really not a Gropius project, so I'll just call it CSS test. Li a href equals project 2 Gropius 7 greater than project 7. You can see the links are showing up here. And I don't have a copy of that, but then Li a href equals and I don't have the listing, but this would be for your personal project. Where you took and created your own site based on a Wikipedia site. And then finally, and so I'm not even sure where I had you do this. So figure out where that is and create a link to it. Then finally, Li a href equals project 3 and tables forms. Okay. And so that's a set of lists, a list of items. Okay. And now we can make this a little bit prettier. Though before we actually do this, so if I have on a link set up like this, this will be a null link. You click on it, it won't actually go anywhere. What do I want to do next? Wheel. I'm going to save this. And again, it's saving here outside of your other folders. And I'm going to click preview. And I'm going to share. So if I click 1, it should take us there, our very first project. If we take it there, shows us Gropius, the very first project. Here's our CSS test. Go back here. Let's see. Gropius Project 7 should look like that. Your personal project should look however your personal project should look. And then finally, tables and forms takes us to this. Okay. So, and then you share, go back to Dreamweaver. So let's make this a little bit prettier. So I'm going to go up here, structure. And I'm going to tell mean. So I don't remember if I walked through this before, but I'm going to tell it to be max. I'm going to tell it to be width. And the width is going to be, well, actually, hang on a second. I'm going to go here, body. Curly quote, background color. Something that blue, semicolon, then main width is going to be 600 pixels. No, 100%. Max width is going to be 600 pixels. And background color is going to be antique white. And padding. So the inside, we're going to push this inside text in from the edge. Antique white, and so padding is going to be 40 pixels, like that. Okay. Okay. Actually, I'm going to make this 30 pixels at the top and the bottom, and then 40 pixels on the left and the right. And then I want to tell this. So right now, this is flush left. In other words, lined up on the left. And then I can add margin 0, auto. And you'll notice that when I do margin 0 auto, then top and bottom, the margin is 0, but left and right, the margin is on auto. And since it's on auto, it'll automatically center that item on the page. So again, occasionally a really great way to do things. Then Typography. Huh, okay, that's something we actually haven't done, is adding background images. I'll save that for another day. Typography, body, font family, Helvetica, Arial, Sans Serif. And each one. Sorry, that's not right. It's just color. There. Or dark red. Font size. Thirty pixels, 36 pixels. Okay. Margin bottom 0. Okay. A little bit more space. Okay, then links. A link. Color. Let's try. Just for fun, color cadet blue. Not dark enough. Okay, let's see. Insert color. See if that's where it's located. HTML. Let's try window. Well, CSS Designer. Style. A. type, color, undefined at the moment. Open up the window and see if I can open this up a little farther. Type. So I haven't really talked much about this, but the CSS designer should allow us to, except it's not going to. Color. Well, let's do, I'm gonna, some days. Let's try that. Okay. Oh, I did it in the wrong place. So that's incorrect. Copy. Undefined. This is where I want it. Okay. And it's still wrong. So I'm going to paste it in there. I know it probably made no sense what I just did. I'd have just added a drop shadow to that type, and I didn't really want to do that. Typography. LI. Text decoration. Okay, it's just going to be a slow day. Text decoration. Okay, did that. A link. A colon. Visit. A visited. A hover. A active. a focus, a active, color, red, dark red. And X. Okay. So I hover them over, they change. And I'm going to go back to my Prometheus 7, structure typography, LI, nav type, list style none. I'm going to steal that list style none. Back here. Okay, and now I have my objects, and then I'm going to margin bottom 3 pixels. Might make it 6 pixels. Make it just easier to click on. The more space you have between your buttons and the bigger the background area you have around the buttons, that might be another way to handle this, because it actually might give us more space. So instead of doing that, I can go to padding 6 pixels. Nope, that won't work. It was a thought. But I could do this as padding. And that'll give us a little bit more space around the buttons so that we can touch them a little bit easier. Okay, so that would be our little homepage for this project. And next I'm going to give you a video that explains how to set up GitHub so that you can use it to have a free online website. And so this project is to do this page. And then finally, actually, I can add one more thing in here. So I did margin 0 auto. I could also do margin 0, 20 pixels auto. And then we actually get a space at the top of the page. So maybe 40. So that even allows it to look a little nicer. And because we set this width 100%, max width 600 pixels, anytime the view screen is bigger than 600 pixels, we'll get the space around the outside. And then anytime we have less, then what'll happen is it'll do that. And the side will continue to crush down just as far as you need it to. And there's an argument that you might not want this space later on, but we won't talk about that today. There is a possibility to change this so that when it gets below 600 pixels, that it actually will remove that top space. So anyway. Okay. And that's that.